Hello again. Well, it's time now to build update number 3 on the. You hear her roaring in the background. Never quiet. Even when she's on my show, she's never quiet. That's Abby anyway in the background, as you can possibly hear. So anyway, lads, it's time now for build update number 3, and we're getting on with our 6x6 deuce and a half. If you saw from the last update, we had it painted, and in this update we're hoping to get it glass coated, get the decals on, another little glass coat over the decals just to kind of seal them in a bit, and get ahead and get some weathering done. Okay, and I'm also hoping to get some of the barrels and jerry cans made as well, get some of them done, some of the stowage for the back of it. So let's crack ahead, let's get down to the bench and let's get started. Alright, so here we have it. I'm after getting this glass coat down. I'm after doing the decals on it. Okay, there was only a couple of little decals, just finished them off there a few minutes ago, and something that I had forgotten to do, but it didn't really show me until I went on to the marking options. This little piece here, right, it's one bit of plastic. You have to paint it yellow, and it's the convoy lead vehicle decal went onto it. Okay, so when that zooms in there, I don't want to hide the light too much. There we go, convoy lead vehicle. Okay, and you can also see the ASCZ 3886TC and the truck 49 decals there on. Okay, we've got our star, the number there on the front either side. We also had our star on either side of it. Okay, those decals all went on at the back. Then we've just got the number plates again, this one here and the truck 49 and another star. Okay, now they all went on, they embedded in nicely and everything else. Even this one, I don't even see, you probably can't really see it too well in that, but it's not showing it up. Come on. But the decal had actually bedded in nice, and you can actually see the boards through it, if you know what I mean. It's just about make it out there. It'll be made more apparent, shall we say, when it comes to doing the bit of the weathering. Because usually what I'll do is I'll go across that. Oops, there we go. There we go. Knock the camera off kilter. I'll go over the lines here of the boards, and I'll actually cut the decal. Okay, I might as well do it now while we're watching. So I'm going to do it anyway, right? So what you want is a nice sharp knife. You don't want it too sharp. Actually you do, you want it nice and sharp, should I say. You don't want it dull. You don't want to scrape it. You don't want to scrape the decal. You just want to get into that groove and cut along that line. Okay, and the same here. Couple of little scores. Take your time, nice and gentle. Now when you've done it with the front of the blade, the sharp bit, then get the back of the blade. Alright, you can give it that extra little bit. Okay. And don't worry too much if you're damaging it up or scraping it up a bit, because it's all part of the weathering process anyway. Okay, so there's our decal embedded in now. See it? Okay, it kind of went off just the tiniest little bit there, as you can see. Just there. Got a little scratch on our paintwork. Oh my god, a scratch on our paintwork. But we're not worried about that. We're not worried about that at all. Because like I said, we're going drifting up the back of that when we do our our weathering. So the next step, like I said, for this is the gloss coat, and I want you to do that, to get those lines into it before I did the gloss coat. Okay, so that's all sealed in now. Now when I go over it with the gloss coat, and when I start the weathering, I can get these lines to stick out and stand out a bit better. Okay. Also here I can get a nice sort of, to get the wood grain effect that's on it. Here in the back, when I go over that with a sludgy wash, which is what I use for weathering and stuff like this, because it's ideal. Mix up a bit of sand and mud, pigments with water, and basically just paste it onto it, leave them dry in, and then remove 80 to 90% of it, and that'll make it up look nice and dusty. Okay, so there's our decals, they're all on, including the inside here of our dashboard decals. They're all in place and everything else. Our hood has been, or whatever you want to call it, the canopy, stuck there in the stick. Okay, that's all been decaled up and everything, or not decaled up, but it's been gloss coated as well. Okay. Like I said, I didn't fit the glass in yet. I'll fit that in at a later stage once all the weathering is done. Oh, excuse me. And I haven't fitted the driver in yet either. He's there, all ready to go in. Okay. Quite happy with how he came out. Finished him off there with a bit of highlights and things. Okay, so there's our driver. He's ready to go in. Fits in perfectly, no problems in getting him in. You may also have noticed that I didn't, I took the wheels off before I gloss coated. Because when you gloss coat I'm after using the TAMIYA rubber black, okay, which gives it a nice effect. It really is nice. And for some weird reason, if you gloss coat over that and then dull coat over it, you lose that rubbery look. It's still black, but that rubbery look, is gone off them, and they actually look rubbery. They're going to get their dusting and everything else anyway, so you're going to lose some of that anyway. But there's no point in losing it all. Okay, so all I do is I'll give them a separate wash. It won't need to be gloss coated or anything like that, because they're going to get pretty dirtied up compared to, say, the rest of the truck. The wheels just get a little bit more weathered than the upper body. But that's why I took the wheels off, because I didn't want to get them gloss coated. The underneath, there's that all gloss coated too. And like I said, I've used different colours underneath there. Not very many. I've used a rust colour on, and a kind of a, it's this, you've seen me using it before, Citadel Typhus Corrosion. Okay, Typhus Corrosion. Come on, zoom in there properly. There you go, Typhus Corrosion technical paint. It's got a bit of a grit in it, and it's wonderful for rust. And because it's got a bit of a grit in it, when you go over it later on then with any extra rust pigments, just to get different little tones in there, works absolutely fabulous. It really, really does. So and I used steel, burnt steel or dark steel, is it? Dark steel. Or is it burnt steel? I can't even remember what it is. Burnt iron or dark iron. At least know what you're using, John, for God's sake. Dark iron. I use that on the drive shafts. Okay, just to get some slight little bit of different colour in there. It's not going to make much of a difference, but it makes it different anyway, which is what we want. Just want a slight bit of difference in there. So the next step, like I said, for this is just give it another quick gloss coat. I use the Aqua Gloss. It's brilliant gloss. It really is fabulous gloss. You notice it when you're doing your weathering. The washes flow exactly into where you want them to go, and works perfectly for that. So I'm going to get crack on. I'm going to give that another gloss coat, and when that gloss coat is dry, then we'll start on the weathering, and we'll have a look at the start of the weathering. Okay. Right, so there we go now. I'm after giving it its second gloss coat over the decals. I'm after sealing in the decals. So now I'm ready to start the weathering on this. Now, while I'm doing the weathering in this, I'm waiting for different stages of it to dry. Whew, I'm glad I got that out. Without problems, really, didn't I? I'm starting to work on what I'm going to put in the back of it. Okay, so these trucks, they were used for everything, and on the Red Ball Express they were basically bringing everything from the port right up to the front lines, everything they needed. Fuel was the most important. They also needed ammunition, they needed just general stores, and they also needed food, lots of other bits and pieces, you name it, they needed it up the front. Okay, so this truck, I'm going to basically have it as a fuel filler. Okay, fill up with fuel, and I'm using the fuel drums out of this set. Okay, there we go. There's the Allied Vehicle Accessory set. That comes with 6 big oil barrels and loads of jerry cans. Okay, gives us 2 types of jerry cans. Gives us the German type, which is the ones with the little kind of chamfered edges on the sides of it, and it gives us the American style ones. Both types were used. They used to use each other's fuel cans the whole time. Okay, so I've got the 6 of those made from that set. Okay, they all need to be now cleaned up and everything else, but they're made anyway. And I've made a couple, well, I've made 3 of the jerry cans. Okay, and I've made 3 of the American type jerry cans. So I'm going to need a lot more jerry cans, and I'm going to need some more big oil drums as well. I had one in my stash, one jerry can in my stash, which will need to be repainted or redone or whatever. Okay, I've plenty more jerry cans here. Okay, I have another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 there, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. So I have another 17 jerry cans on that side, and 3, that's 20 jerry cans. Okay, and 6 barrels, well, 7 barrels because I had the extra barrel. But I've also got this set, right, which is the German set, and that also comes with 6 barrels and a load of jerry cans. Okay, so I'm going to use this set as well. Why not? Okay, so like I said, I mean, I've got 6 jerry cans, and I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 4 and 4 is 8. So I have another 16 jerry cans and another 6 fuel cans or oil drums. Okay, so I'm going to have 6 and 6, 12, 1. I'm going to have 13 oil drums and a lot of jerry cans. So I'm going to fill up the back of it anyway with them. So it's going to have plenty of stowage in the back of it. It's not going to be bare like that. It's going to be kind of quite full. So I'm going to get ahead with that, getting them all made up while I'm waiting for bits and pieces of weathering to dry, because the weathering is the next step. Well, it's and making the fuel cans as well is all part of the next step. So the next step now for me, as I said, is the weathering. So what am I going to do with the weathering? First of all, I'm going to give it a black wash. Okay, it's a simple black acrylic paint mixed with either thinner or water. I use water mixed with you know, the old squeezy acrylic paints, that type. Okay, now I know that's green, but you know what I mean. It's one of them in black, nice cheap. Make a nice big batch of wash. I'm nearly out of it. I nearly have to make a new batch of black wash because I use it. I made it quite thin And the reason for making it quite thin is it's nice and light. If you need it any heavier, give it a second or even a third or even a fourth coat. But if you make it too thick and it goes down in one and it's too heavy, there's not really much you can do. You're after darkening everything up and everything else, which is one of the other reasons for giving it a gloss coat, because you don't want to make it any darker than what it is, but you want the wash to go in on all the panel lines and things, so that's where you want it to go. By having it gloss coated, gives the surface, it'll flow over the surface easier and go into the little crevices where you want the wash to go. So I'm going to get stuck ahead with that. I'm going to give it a black wash, a second one or even a third one if it needs it. We'll have a look at that stage, and we'll see how many more drums I've had made by that stage as well, when it's all drying off. Okay, so bear with me, I'll get that done. Right, so there it is now. It's after getting this black wash, and I'm also after giving it a bit of a wash in some areas with this, the Citadel's Agrax Earthshade. Okay, you probably mightn't be able to read it from that because it's all there. There you go, Agrax Earthshade. It's a great wash, absolutely fabulous stuff. But what it is after darkening everything, okay, making it nice and dirty, exactly where and how I want it. But my next step now is to kind of get some of the colour back into that. So the only way I can do that is to give it a bit of a dry brush. Okay, and I'll use the olive drab as the colour to dry brush that with. So I'm going to give that a dry brush. When I finish with the dry brush, we'll have a look at it and see did the dry brush make any difference? Did it lighten it back up again? Hopefully it did. So if it did, it did, and if it didn't, it didn't. So we got to give it a dry brush. Then I'll go for a bit of a pigment kind of wash on it to get some dust and dirt onto the wheel, some dust and dirt onto the wheels and things. Okay, into the lower sections of it, and then put some more pigment, a bit of a pigment wash in here as well, just to kind of dirty up the bed of the truck. Okay, so I'll go ahead and I'll do a dry brushing on it. It'll help to, make some of the areas stand out as well. So I'll get ahead with that and we'll have a look at that then. Right, so as you can see, I'm after giving it the dry brushing, and I'm after using more than just the olive drab. I used some olive drab, some dark yellow, and a bit of brown as well, because the brown would have been where the paint would have worn off the wood and things. Now, excuse me there for bumping the camera, but I was trying to get this into a position that's actually visible. You can actually see, and I'm quite happy with that. Okay, now considering I've got to go on now and do more weathering. Okay, it's not the finished product, but that is actually what I want. Okay, I want it to look, to get it to look used. Areas of it worn off a bit, bits of spillage and God knows what else. Just these things the daylights were used out of them, So it's just to get that worn look into it. It's actually, sometimes it can be quite hard, and sometimes it can actually work out quite nicely for you. So I'm still working away in it. I'm going to give it now a wash of a dust, just to get some kind of dust and dirt in around by the wheel wells, things like that. I want to get some dust on the wheels, and I want to get some dust and dirt and grime in around here. Okay, I also want to get sort of a fuel stain leak down from the old fuel can. Now I do have some engine grime type stuff there. Engine grime in MIG engine grime stuff. So I'm going to try and give that a go. That might actually work for the old fuel stain coming down from the fuel filler cap. So I'm going to give it a blast anyway, and get on and get some more pigments and things into it, and we'll have a look at it then. I just thought I'd show you how I'm going ahead about doing this. I'm after got this little pigment set. You've probably seen it before. You've seen me use it before. It's a little Revel set. Okay, so I start off with some dark brown. Okay, color number 2, dark brown. Okay, I'm going to use some, and I started to put it in. I went, it'd be nice to kind of blend it in together. So I don't mind a bit of staining in one side, things like that. Right, so I'm going to use a bit of this sand yellow. Let's give it a couple of scrapes inside of that. What else can we use? A bit of the mud green. Okay, mud green. Simple as that. Okay, loads of different colours in there. And I'm just going to blend all that together. I'm using this dry now, I'm not mixing any water through it or anything like that. Okay. And I'm not really trying to remove any of it yet either. Okay. I will at a later stage try and get as much of that off then as I can. Not as much of it off as I can, but I want it to blend in, but I don't want it to look how would you say, I don't want it to look as if it was done on purpose, if you know what I mean. I want it sort of to look natural. Okay, so I want it to get everywhere. Same now on the outside, using the stuff I have on the inside for that. Like I said, I'll be kind of removing an awful lot of that. Just getting it laid down first. Holding that down there. You see how the truck is bed alone. Now it's starting to get better. Just by moving. Keeping everything moving around. Right, so I'll carry on with that, and you can see what I'm doing to it. And I'll show you now what I'm, as I keep rubbing it in and dusting it off, then you'll see what it'll look like for a finish. Okay. Now as you can see, she's slowly getting there. Okay, now there's a bit of a shine off that. As you see now, we got lots of it out of the back, but it's in, you know, embedded into the corners and things. Where dirt and grime goes, it doesn't really stay in the centre. It gets brushed out to the side, and then it gets walked in, gets a bit damp. Okay, see that? So that's basically how we're trying to get that. Okay. There we go. Okay. As you can see, it's just ground in grime and dirt, which is what we're trying to get. So next step, like I said, now I'm going to do the make down a bit of a wet wash. I'm going to use a bit of sand, yellow sand and green earth. Okay, and I'm going to make a sludge, basically sludge wash for in around here and for underneath. Okay, so I'm going to get ahead with that and get that done. Right, now I said I'd show you the state of my hands before I go and wash my hands and leave this to dry overnight. I said I'd give you a look at what it is basically. This is my sludge, and I am after adding in a touch of brown because I got a lot of brown in this. So when I put on the sand and the green, it was just a bit too green. It didn't look right. Okay, with the rest of the weathering. So there we go. We've the whole lot sludged and gunked in there. Okay, so what you do is nice and wet, just literally get it in everywhere. Okay, like that. Loads of it, don't be afraid of it, just get it on in. Okay, just show us all as much as we can get in there, get it in there. Okay, don't forget the backs of our mud guards and things. Okay, it's the thing, and when you're putting it up along the sides, just dab it, you know, up along the side of the doors and things. Okay, another little bit then on the inside there, just along the floor. So I'm going to leave that now dry, and literally dry overnight, because we want it to completely dry. And you see the effect that will give will actually be quite nice. Then just rub off what you don't want. Same with the wheels, okay? Inside, outsides, everywhere in the wheels. When that dries in, then it'll go dusty, and you can get off then whatever you need to take off, and you can go over them with the sand then, if you want to lighten it off a bit. Okay, so I'm going to leave it at that, leave it dry overnight. We'll have a look at it tomorrow. Right, so now we have it with the all the dusting is done and everything else. You can get a nice look at it there. Okay, in under there is all done. The sides are done. The back of the truck. Okay. Come on, zoom in. There you go. Okay, the sides of the truck. Underneath, a little bit underneath as well, just in case you pick it up or whatever. Okay, and the truck bed. And the dirt in around the, you know, where we get ground in places like that. Okay, so there's the truck is done. And the wheels are all done as well, okay. There's a nice close look at the wheels. Okay. As you see, it looks natural. You know, they look naturally dirtied up. So now it's a case of reconstruct the truck and get the glass in to the into the front of that and stuff. Meantime, I'm working away on the barrels. Okay, I have the barrels all made. Okay, all the barrels are made. I got a stack of barrels there, and I'm working away on jerry cans as well. Okay, I have a few jerry cans made, but still plenty more to do. As you see, look, it's a dirty job, messing with pigments and things. You are going to get dirty, so If you want to stay clean, don't do it. Simple as that. So that's it now for this video. The next one we'll be finishing it off. Okay, I'll be getting the rest of the jerry cans made up. I've 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I've 10 jerry cans done. I'll probably need another 20 jerry cans. That'll be 30 jerry cans. I do have some boxes there if I need to sort of touch up and fill it up a bit more, boxes and things. Okay, that's one of the that's a plastic one. Here's some wooden ones that I made up. Okay, made these ones up myself. You know, so I have a couple of boxes if I want to kind of top it up after that. So that'll be the next video. So in the meantime, I'm going to leave it at that. I'm going to get it all, the construction of it finished. You know, put the wheels back on, get the glass in, and put the canopy on. And that'll be the truck then out of the way, and then just worry then about the stowage. So in the next video, like I said, we'll have the truck done, and we can hopefully get a start on the oh, another one, 11. we can get a start on the painting of the jerry cans and the barrels and things, and get them not too weathered up, but weathered up a little bit. Okay, so I'll catch you in the next one. Stay safe in the meantime. Don't forget, be nice to one another. Here's the main thing. I always say that. Be nice to one another, and enjoy your kit building. And in the meantime, go out and buy yourself a kit, build it, and enjoy it. It's John signing off. I'll catch you on the next one, lads. Stay safe.